Hello, friends, and welcome to Edgecast. In this episode, per se your request, yes, I have added the intro and the outro because some of you wanted to make it more branding kind, and you were actually looking for a bit more enthusiastically. You have asked me a few questions as well. As per our last video, we will be discussing a lot to do more with what kind of questions you should be asking your marketing team, and what kind of analytics can you check with them, the numbers what you should be asking, and how can you understand whether your marketing team needs an external agency or does it need a different kind of expertise, so that you can improve that particular aspect of your marketing and also get more leads and make it more organic, or probably make it more paid. How do we decide all of that and how to go about with it? And yes, as per some of your questions, I will also be speaking in the next video about tofu, mofu, and bofu, and how do we decide which kind of content to make it, and if we are having a smaller team, how do we go across making lesser content and getting more results. Okay, so guys, the first thing that you should be doing as an entrepreneur is you have to have a check on what is happening from your marketing end and how far are you able to convert. Okay, so I have seen a lot of entrepreneurs actually come up to me and ask, tell me that Krishna, we have a lot of visibility and we have a lot of customers as well, but I'm not really sure if my marketing is firing or not. So one of the reasons is because we don't have goals set up in Google Analytics, or we don't have the right kind of aspects set up, so we can't track. We are the most of the brands are unable to track exactly where what is happening, or they are unable to actually gauge which platform is actually getting them more leads, and where they should actually be investing in marketing. So for this, I will definitely suggest that we go in a very systematic way. The first question that you have to ask your marketing team is, are the goals set? And if the goals are set, which is the platform which is giving us the maximum visibility or the maximum reach? Which is the platform which is giving us the maximum kind of hits or maximum kind of conversions? And if both are we are getting good numbers on both of them, and then which is the platform which is, or which is a kind of source or medium that we are actually getting good hits, conversions, and there's a lot of potential, or you could actually ask from when we can actually invest. So how do we go about with this? We just have to understand that every platform has a certain kind of aspect which might fire for certain brands, whereas it might not even be useful for others. So we have to as marketers, we have to understand that there's a lot of check that we have to do based on the kind of audiences we have actually gathered, or based on actually the kind of reach that we have on that particular platform. So some of the questions that I have actually thought of was, whenever we think of any kind of platform, and we feel that personally we might feel that Facebook actually works for some of us, whereas some feel no, only LinkedIn works for us. Then in that case, you could ask your marketing team which is the source and medium and what's the kind of numbers of source of medium for Facebook or LinkedIn, as per what you feel is more relevant to your business. And also ask them what is the kind of hits that we are getting, what is the kind of conversions that we are getting, what is the kind of also the kind of activity which is happening. What's the bounce rate for each of them as well, because understand that once we have we might be having a very good reach, and we could be having a very lower or okay to say per se conversion from that particular platform, which actually tells me that the kind of messaging that we are giving on that platform has to be updated or has to be changed. Or we might not be having a lot of reach on a particular platform, which actually tells me that the conversion is good and the kind of targeting is good, the hits are coming good, but the reach is not good. So probably we might need to expand on the geographical or the demographics, so that we could have more people coming in and the conversions could also be improved. Or in case we are having good hits and we are having good conversions as well, but probably a lot of people are bouncing off. That actually tells me that probably what we are giving them as an option is not something that they are enjoying, or probably we need to add more flavors to the offers, so that we will have better conversions and better kind of revenue being generated on that particular platform. So guys, it's all about numbers, very honestly. and it's got to do a lot more to with what kind of activity we are doing. And yes, one of the other aspects that I have actually seen over my 21 years, that most people do not know what is a funnel which has been implemented now, and or in what part of the funnel they are actually currently there. So when I speak of funnels, I actually speak of the cycle of marketing. So either are you increasing your visibility, or you're telling people that you exist in a particular category, or are you in the phases of encouraging them or empowering them, so that you're actually telling them how our product or service line can be used and how it can benefit them, or are you at the point of time where you are actually ensuring that they're converting from there, or they're actually ready to purchase. Based on these aspects of the funnel as well, you can decide what kind of marketing strategy or what kind of marketing budgets you should be allocating for various activities. And we also have to understand that probably everything is going right, but the problem is that the audience targeting, or what we are getting as the last conversions, is not actually relevant. So one of the main basic reasons for this is that probably everything else went right. We are on the right platform. We are targeting the right people. But what is happening is that we are targeting the right people at the wrong time. So probably they're bouncing off, or they're not actually converting because of the fact that because they're being approached at the wrong time. I had worked with a brand wherein we had actually had this problem. The visibility was very good. Hits was very good for the brand. But at the end of the day, when I looked at the conversions, they were not actually not many in number. So I had a look at what the kind of activity that they were doing, and I realized that they were actually doing a lot more campaigns, or they were starting the campaigns on Monday. So you have to understand that starting a campaign on Monday is a very bad kind of thing, because Mondays are usually hectic, or they're more stress based. So I would rather suggest starting a marketing campaign on Wednesday or Thursdays, and that too in the second half of the day, because that way is the person who is looking at the campaign is in a much better mood to actually interact with it. And that kind of helped. And in case of e-commerce platforms, I have seen a lot of e-commerce platforms actually suffer with cart abandonment, or some kind of activity, basically because they don't personalize. So I mean, so whenever I have actually done the marketing for e-commerce, what I do is I put a very big banner stating what they have last purchased. The first instance itself, it is what all you have purchased last time and in what quantities. So I mean, in case they just want to rebuy it, that is the first thing that they will have, that they can reorder the same stuff, or they could or I would also in the immediate next. After the hero banner, it will be the banner which says these are the products that they can consider, or these are the products which are relevant to the products that you have ordered before. So what used to happen was in the initial period itself, yes, it is obviously that I want them to do a bit more research, but I also want to increase the number of quick purchases. So to increase the quick purchases, what I used to do is at e-commerce, if they want to reorder, or if they want to order something which is recommended, or which is suggested because they have ordered something similar in the earlier time, then it actually speeds up their decision making process, and it also gives them a reason to kind of click through, which actually reduces my bounce rate, and which also reduces the person's time spent on the platform. So they can actually come back, and they know next time when they come back, all they have to do is reorder, and they can go to the purchase part, and they can complete their activity. So a lot of time which would be spent otherwise in trying to find out the product, find out the exact quantity that they wanted for the product, that would be reduced, and this activity would increase the number of sales per day for me. And also that is about e-commerce. So for IT, I have specifically seen that whenever I am working with an IT company, that if I don't speak about we could say that I don't just speak about the features or the kind of activities or the kind of extra elements that are there, but instead if I just focus on creating a community around the features or the kind of product which I have always got better results, and I have always got better leads coming from the community who is actually listening to me and who are ready to interact with me. And what I do is, instead of just giving out communities for my products or services, I also intend to extend it to other activities of the community, where wherein all the kind of hiring in that specific kind of audiences would be done on my community itself, so that it can actually generate the kind of interest, or even kind of spread out the message that this community is not just about just about selling, or it's not just about the product or service, but it's also about helping others, trying to find out the right kind of you can say expertise in the same kind of domain, which actually brings about the kind of SEO support, and which also gives me that kind of visibility in the domain, and in with the experts that who are there in my own domain. Okay, so guys, I would not want to extend this further than this, but yes, in the next episode we will be speaking about tofu, mofu, bofu, and how do we actually ensure that even with a smaller team we are able to get better results, and better distribution of the content that we are creating, so that we can have a better kind of activity and better kind of traction soon. Okay, thank you. Have a great day.